Happy New Year to everybody. Today, the 31st of December 2023, here in, well, not so sunny Belgium, Brussels, freezing cold. So I thought I will close the year 2023 with a Macallan. And yes, I am a Macallan fanboy. There it is. I said it. And well, I'm looking forward to trying something new from Macallan, something that I just picked up yesterday. And while I'm on the topic of picking up some whiskey, I found this fantastic little store in Brussels. I never knew it existed. I went for a walkabout in the city center and I found this place. I did a short little YouTube short on them with a couple of photos some days ago. And yesterday I decided to go in and talk to the people and share some ideas on whiskey and talk about the prices of whiskey. Absolutely a fantastic bunch of guys working there. I really enjoyed the interaction. They all chipped in their 5 cents. I really enjoyed it. And of course, I asked the permission just to film some of the bottles that is there. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. Take photos, take a video. And I was, as a guy that loves whiskey and just browsing, window shopping sometimes. Sometimes the prices can be a little bit too much for me as well. And so I had a good, I think I've spent there half an hour in the shop. And to my surprise, I saw some sample bottles and I inquired what is the possibility of buying some samples. Of course, it is possible. Anything in life is possible. So I did pick up 4 samples at quite a reasonable price. They have quite a number of open bottles that you can pick from. You can ask 100 milliliters, 30 millimeters, 50, your choice, and they have different type of bottles that you can fill. I picked up for the wee drams to make sure that I can buy a couple of samples of different whiskies. And of course, in the next week or two, we will talk about all of the different bottles that I did buy. And of course, I will also show you a little bit of the video that I took of all the good whiskies that they have. There is some prices written on the bottle. If you want to stop and pause and have a look at the favorite ones, well, something that you would like to pick up in the future. They are situated just off the Grand Place or Grote Markt here in Brussels, so easy to find, and you'll be surprised on the nice selection that they have. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about tonight's whiskey. Macallan. It is the Macallan Harmony collection. They had 2 bottles on offer for samples if you want to go try it. They have the number 1 and the number 2. And I picked the Arabic, the Intense Arabic edition. And well, maybe that was not the best choice. Afterwards, with the discussion, I said I should also try the other one. But yeah, let's start off with the one that I picked, Intense Arabica. Now, when you slap a label of Intense Arabica on a bottle, that means coffee. That means they're using Ethiopian coffee as the base or as the starting point for what they wanted to achieve on the nose. And very difficult, I think, to accomplish. I do love a good cup of coffee. I've been to the Ethiopian lounge, I think, more than anybody that I know. I've spent hours and hours in the lounge where I have one of the ladies there dressed into the local attire, and then she will brew you some Arabica coffee, Ethiopian coffee, a whole ceremony, quite an impressive thing to sit and watch. And well, that brings me back to the whiskey, that if I bring this to my nose, is it going to be the same as what I got in Ethiopia at the airport? It's a tall order, I think, because the intensity of that coffee that they are brewing is it's up there, high level. It's very strong. It's very aromatic. So slapping a label on a whiskey that says that Intense Arabica notes, I think it's going to be a little bit of a tall order, a little bit of a difficult one for them to achieve. Of course, we are talking only 44% ABV. I am glad that Macallan has at least added a 4%. That normal 40% ABV does not work for a lot of people. And 43 in South Africa, we do get an extra 3%. I think in the US they also get an extra 3%. So they stopped at 44%. Why? No idea. They could have left it at maybe 46% and do a non-chill filtration. But of course, yeah, we're talking Macallan. We're talking loads and loads of PR. I think the biggest budget are spent on the public relations, the advertising, the product placement of whiskies. So they do a fantastic job on that. I can't fault them. But for me, it's about the nosing and tasting. Now, I did a little bit of digging on this one before I start. Normally, for me, it's about the nosing and tasting. I would not go spend hours on the website to find what the notes are that I should be getting, because I think sometimes the notes that they give is a little bit of strange. Sometimes it's a little bit of, I'm thinking, where did they get these notes from? Who decided to name something with a different type of notes, the aromas? Because when I smell it, I don't get any of these notes. But with this one, I thought I could do it a little bit different. Maybe read what they tell me what I should find, and I can tell you if I can find all of these wonderful notes. One of my friends used to say they start playing the fiddle and they give you all these things that nobody has ever smelled in their life. So on this one, natural color, it is a no age statement whiskey. No idea how old the whiskey is. Even if you go check, you're not going to find any information on their website. But it's a nice golden color, light golden color, maybe a touch of copper in it. But of course, it's all about the nosing and tasting. Now, if I look at their website, and I'm sorry for the people, I'm doing things a little bit different. If they tell me there's an Intense Arabica experience on its way, the first thing that I want to get on the nose, of course, is coffee. And unfortunately, I am not getting that coffee note. Now, they talk tiramisu, cappuccino, they talk about gingerbread, they talk about raisins, they talk about almonds, vanilla, and sweet oak. Now, that's quite descriptive. And the espresso note, I think you really have to dig deep, open up the boxes in the brain to look for that notes. Now, if I go back into my boxes in the brain and I open up the box that says Ethiopian Business Lounge, I open up that, the first thing that I want is coffee. I'm sorry, I'm not getting coffee. Not even an espresso note. I drink a lot of coffee. I know what it smells like. And unfortunately, yeah, definitely not coffee. But if I think about the tiramisu, which sometimes can be, well, depend on how much coffee you have in it. There's a hint of that sweetness. I get more of a chocolate note on it. A light chocolate, it's not a dark chocolate, it's a sweet chocolate that I get. It is nice, really nice on the nose. That's 44%. Definitely not kicking you in the nose, even with a little bit of a shaky. It's just lovely sweetness in it. The vanillas are there. It is, of course, matured or finished in a seasoned sherry cask. Seasoned. And it's not an intense sherry note. A chocolate is coming through, a little bit of a raisins is there, and that vanilla notes coming through. That little bit of a light vanilla. It is pleasant. It's not complex. And I'm a little bit disappointed that I'm not getting that coffee note. Now, let me know in the comment, did you get coffee in it? If I put this blind in front of you and I'm not telling you that there's coffee notes coming out, I wonder how many people will pick up coffee. But it's pleasant. And I am a Macallan fan, so I'm really digging to make sure that I find something special. Because can you imagine a fanboy picking up a Macallan and telling you, that's not nice? Well, it is pleasant. It's drinkable. Well, I hope it's going to be drinkable. Price-wise, funny thing is, I did not look at the price. I think it's quite expensive. I will put the price up over here so you can see how much it will cost for a full bottle. I think it's going to be quite expensive. I don't even remember how much I paid for the sample, but it was quite reasonable. Now, with a little bit of time, now we poured this one from a bottle was still 3/4 full. So this bottle wasn't open long time ago. But it is quite pleasant. And the more time that I have it in the glass, the sweeter it gets. And I get more of that chocolate notes coming through. Very pleasant. And of course, we have to taste it as well. On the taste, we are talking about dark chocolate, espresso note. We are talking a little bit of raisins. Of course, there are going to be some raisins. But when they chuck in a little bit of a tiramisu on the taste as well, on the nose and on the taste, we talk about blackberries, we talk about vanilla, we talk about Brazil nuts, sweet oak. So if I talk a big game, let's see. Cheers. Wow. The first thing that comes out is that sweetness. It is a sweet whiskey. I get loads and loads of that sherry notes. I was a little bit surprised. The sherry was definitely shining through. And I almost get a textured note to it. Something, it almost feels like I want to chew it. Let me just try again and make sure. Cheers. This is fantastic. I think it is so much better on the taste. Raisins, chocolate, definitely a chocolate note. The espresso note, not even on the aftertaste. I would expect a little bit of a bitter note. Well, if you say coffee, there should be a bitter note. Even on this one, it is a no-age statement whiskey, so not a lot of time that I think it was spent in a cask. It didn't bring out a lot of the tannins, a lot of the bitter notes, but it is lovely. It is something that I appreciate. Vanilla now, And now I get a little bit of a dry mouthfeel, begging for you for a little bit more. Try to get a little bit more out of it. The tiramisu, what they are talking about, I'm not getting any of that. Not getting a creamy note out of it. The chocolate note is what the most that I get out of it, and the sherry that I get. So it is not a complex whiskey, but it's a friendly whiskey, it's a drinkable whiskey, and it's something that I will definitely share with friends. Well, the price, of course, I still don't know what it costs, and I think that is going to be the biggest deciding factor for a lot of people. A lot of people are now price conscious, and you'll see that topic coming up in all the YouTube videos. People are saying that they are sick and tired of paying a premium just because of the name of the whiskey. Just because Macallan is, well, a lot of people used to be chasing them. I think a lot of people are now looking at higher ABV whiskies, whiskies that are a little bit cheaper, and something with an age statement. And of course, if you want to spend a fortune on a whiskey, you tend to look for something with a great value for money. Is this the whiskey for you? Well, depending on the price, if it is going 150, 160, 170, I don't know. Then for me, it's definitely not worth the price. There's a lot of whiskies, high ABV whiskies, Abelauer, Abuna, as an example, independent whiskies, independent bottled whiskies. My word, I've tasted so many fantastic independent bottled whiskies over the last year or two, which is much cheaper than this, some of the no age statement whiskies. And I'm going on a complete rant, but I'm trying to justify me paying a little bit of, well, in this case, quite a lot of money for some of the whiskies. And with that little bit of a rant over, and I go back now, chocolate. And I can even see the tiramisu coming out. That additional rant time made it a nice chocolatey, more like a chocolate drink. Yesterday when I was walking through the Grote Markt here in Belgium, there was a nice chocolate shop. If you go in there, they have warm chocolate, hot chocolate, and with some cream on top of it. Do yourself a favor, try it. It's super sweet, but if you smell it, you get that same chocolatey note that comes out. So definitely something that I would recommend. So with that, a long video, I'm sorry about that, but it is well worth the time and effort on that. So if you are interested, I did buy some other samples as well. All wee little drams. Artbeck Bazaar, I think it's the Barbecue Isla Single Malt, 50.9% ABV. That will also appear soon on this channel. I went to the French whiskey scene, and I'm sure my friend Greg will also appreciate this one. Armoric Single Cask for Nectar, 48.4% ABV. And the last one that I picked up, that will also appear soon, I went for my American friends. I just saw it. They asked me, would you like to try a bourbon as well? I said, yeah, put them all in the bag. The Michter's bourbon, 45.7. Not a lot of information, but I'm said I drink anything with alcohol in it. Give it to me, and I will see if I can make a nice video of it. So that's me on the Macallan Harmony Selection Intense Arabic. Please leave a comment. What did you think about it? Did you get that coffee? Is it something that you would recommend? And of course, as usual, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Ring the bell, press the buttons. all the money that comes from ad revenue, there is a super chat or supers or something like that somewhere below. If you want to send some money for the kids, €1, €2, €5, it's up to you. 100% of that money will go towards them, and we buy food. Last month we managed €1,000 from all my friends and family and everybody donating some money. I have 2 Patreons, free Patreons that helped out. I got 2 super chats here last month as well, and all that contributed to a fantastic Christmas for all. There is in my community page, there is a video, short videos and a couple of photos on all the food we could have bought with that money. So keep that in mind if you want to help out some kids. So thank you very much for watching. See you next time in 2024. Cheers.